Start. Battery's gone. Okay guys, so here I am. Yes, you can see the mini battery's gone flat. It's probably going to happen to your car if you've been in a lockdown. So I'm going to have to remove the battery and put it on a trickle charger. First of all, what I'm going to do, I've looked at a video on how to do it on a Mini. There's a link down below to Eric the car guy. He does one. He removes the battery and shows how to replace it, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just test it with one of these. It's like a little battery tester to test the battery. You could also use a voltmeter, and I will show you how to do that with my multimeter. But first, it's time to actually, and then I'm going to remove it. It uses a 10mm ratchet to get all the bolts undone, and he's going to remove this cover here and get the battery out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the battery and just stick it on one of these, which is a trickle charger. I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, let's have a look at the battery then. It's oh, that's not the battery. Is it under here? Where is it? But it was there in the video. It was there. I don't understand. Where could it be? Now, you remove the panel and it's there. That's odd. Hang on a sec. Something wrong here. What's this here? Oh, there it is. It's there. It's on the other side because it's left, right and drive. I get it. Aha. Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to remove it from a Mini, but it's all in reverse. Okay, let's test it. Okay, so finally found out where it was. Now, obviously if you suspect that the battery is flat, like I do, you need to actually test to make sure it is flat, nothing else. Now what you will need, like I showed, you can have one of these fancy battery testers that I got. I'll show you how to use one of those. Or you can even use one of these like voltmeters or multimeters. I'll show you how to do the multimeter method first, as that's the one that most people are going to use. So what you do is you select where it says DC volts. It's sort of shown by this dotted line, this line on top. Don't use this squiggle line because that's like AC, because that's something different. And basically turn it to 20 on the dial. Okay, now the red prong goes on to positive and the black prong goes on to negative. Obviously it's black on the common and the red is on the volt thing. Okay, just basically stick it across the terminals. 12.6. It should be a bit more than that. It's slightly under. Okay, it should usually be something like 13 point something. It's usually 12 volt batteries, about 12.4. And if they're running, they should have. You can do an alternator test with these. But okay, well, let's get rid of this. And we'll put on the fancy battery tester. Put it up to 12 volts because it's a 12 volt battery. Okay, so secret with batteries. Connect up the positive. Connect up to the negative. Let's see what we've got. And the lights should show up. It says, now that thing is saying that that battery is not good at all. Oh, here we go. Ah, yeah, it's on its amber, so it's not fully charged. The switch wasn't, so it's amber, it's not fully charged, so there's needs a bit more of a charge. So it's time to remove the battery, put it on a trickle charge and put it back in the car. Okay, to remove this, we're going to have to remove this whole panel here. And there's a little join just around about here where the windscreen wiper is. Okay, that panel is going to come off, and it's held in place around here by a nut there and a plastic nut there. And this is where we use the 10mm ratchet to remove the nuts. So first, take the metal nut off first. Okay, now that's out, time to remove this. Be careful with this one, it's made out of plastic. Now that they're both removed, we can put them in a safe place, i.e. back pocket, and carefully then we remove this piece of trim just here, like that. Okay, that piece of rubber trim, just pull it aside, past. So, really forgot something. And this should be able to be lifted up, like so. You might need to slide up the windscreen. Like it says. Bit of wiggling. Be careful wiggling, obviously. Don't want to break anything. There we go. It's off. And carefully remove the cover. Okay, one simple trick somebody might not tell you. To do with the nuts and bolts, put them back in their threads, like so. I'll put this one over here so that you can find them when you come to replacing the panel. Okay guys, next remove the leads. Now whenever you remove a battery lead, always remove the negative first. Okay, because the problem is if you start doing the positive and as you're undoing it and you touch the body shell, you're going to get a bolt. Where it's not going to happen with the negative because the negative is on the body shell. So, negative first. So if you accidentally touch the body shell, it's not going to give you a bolt. Okay, so negative first. Off she comes. Well, off it comes. It's a thing. There we go. And then you can safely remove the positive. Just like that. Okay, now the battery is held down. But just tip the iPod, sorry, the tripod a bit forwards. It's held down at the bottom, right down there on a clip. And to undo it, there's this long thing here, which is also 10mm. And you just undo that and remove. As it comes, that's a little clip holding the battery down. One last thing, on the side of the battery right here, this piece of little grey pipe. It's a little drain pipe. That just needs to be removed and put aside. Okay, next, everything's all disconnected. The battery can safely be removed from the car. Oh, there we go. Before leaving the car, I'm just going to put the clip back in its place, this back in its place, and the cover just loosely in place. Just to keep things a little dry while we leave the car on charge. Okay guys, I'm in a little outbuilding. I've found the battery, put the battery somewhere safe, not preferably not indoors. I wanted to keep it away from the house. Years ago you had little things you had to open up, let them breathe. Don't have to do with these sealed batteries. I've put the negative on the black wire onto the negative, red wire onto the positive from the battery charger plugged in. Let's switch the thing on, and here we go. Okay, now you see this needle on the battery charger, it's saying high because it's charging up with a high rate of electricity. What it's inside here is a little bridge rectifier with about 4 diodes and a capacitor. It's slowly charging up. Don't use these on lithium ion or nickel cads. These are only for lead acid batteries, really. It should state it there. It's a car battery, because car batteries are lead acid. That'll be high rate. As soon as this gets up to a full charge, that will slowly go down to 0. Yeah, watch this space. I did check it through the night, and it did go down, and it's gone back up again. So, but anyway, it's had an overnight. So what we will do is we will switch it off, and we will check the voltage. Okay, I'll just change hands. Where are we? And let's take that off, and take that off. Stick that under that. Go to the other end. Stick that on there. It's gone up, so probably overcharged it a bit. So let's get this in the car, get the car started, and get everything running correctly. Actually, what I'm going to do now, I might actually just try the voltmeter. I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand. Okay, I'm going to just stop this and then prop this up. Okay, it's on its voltmeter's on its side. I've got the camera in an awkward place. Let's do a voltmeter test and see where it is. 13.63. Oh, that's plenty. That'll get the car started, and then we'll see where we go from there. Okay, just one thing I wanted to point out. There's this little drain that's blocked. I thought it might be for a little sensor. Wasn't sure. Now I know what it is. Need to clear it out. Actually bolted it back on because it rained last night, and just wanted to keep it all dry. So let's get it off, and I'll clean up the little drain. Okay, the best way to clean this drain out is to get a long small screwdriver, get most of the muck out, like so. Get rid of that horrible stuff. Flip him over, and then sort of just back push it like that. That should clean most of the gunk and muck out. And I'll just pour a little bit of water in there, and that should clear it through. I think we can see through it. Okay, well, a bit more clearing, and that'll be ready to go back in. Okay guys, when I'm putting the battery in, this little lip down here, so it's going to be held on. So when we put it in, we want to make sure that we slide it in, look forward, and get it underneath that little lip there. We don't want to bend that by putting it on top, otherwise the battery won't be able to hold down. So that's what we'll be doing next. Okay, here we go. Just make sure that you get the positive of the battery on the same side as that. Okay, that's in. Okay. I don't know if you can see it down there, guys, but it's just under the lip, just there. That's what you need to check for. Okay, to connect everything up now, I'm going to put the tie down in. Now, what I like to do is just get some copper grease or assembly compound. I think basically it's like a thing with grease, and the idea is to just basically stick some on the threads. The idea being that I'll be able to stop it from seizing up, and if I should want to get the battery out again, which I might do in the future, I can easily undo it. Okay, so now it's all greased up. Just lower it in, find the hole. There we go. Swinging forward. I had to sort of get it past those two little bits there, bits of metal there. I'm not sure if you can see. Get it down in the hole. I'm going to do it finger tight to begin with. And get it in. Battery nice and tight in, don't over tighten it obviously. Make sure it's all nice and solid because you don't want it rattling around as the car's driving along. Now, reverse procedure here guys. Just make sure that's out of the way. First things first, positive on first. Make sure you get the positive on first before you do the negative. Same as you don't want to touch the body shell and get a big bolt. So positive on first, that's nice. Then here goes the negative. You can hear the car whirring away. And let's tighten the negative down. Now, some people would clean the terminals. I haven't, because it's a reasonably new car. Well, they look reasonably clean, but that sort of helps with everything. Don't forget to put the little drain pipe on the side. That'll be full of acid. Okay. Okay guys, the same before, reverse procedure. To get this thing carefully in position. You just have to fiddle it around everything, like the battery and all sorts of wonderful good stuff. Get it lined up. There's a little lip just there, so we just need to get it over the top and line it up with the bolt holes on the car. Okay, pull the plastic nut. Just don't over tighten the plastic nut. That's enough. Okay, the bolt at the back, but also, because it's a metal one, a bit of anti-seize wouldn't go amiss. Okay, the bolt at the back. Let's plop it in. And tighten that down. So again, don't over tighten it because you're going to get it undone. You don't want the bolt to break off. Okay, there we go. It all looks nice and fun. Okay, last but not least, this little rubber trim. Back on, it just simply just pushes on. There we go. I'm not going to put the cover on just yet because I want to get the engine started and then test it with a voltmeter, my little fancy device. Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we go. We'll have to reset the clock and stuff, which is normally what you'd have to do. I'm going to leave the engine running a bit. I'm now going to test the alternator, guys. Okay, this is why I wanted to leave the engine cover off. Test the alternator. Now the other reason why this has probably been hanging around is because of a parasitic draw, where there's a sort of something draining the battery where the car's stationary. That's why I'd have to do a parasitic draw test. But so back to 20. The volt. So do the voltmeter first. Okay. So what we do, stick across the prongs. There you go. It's just keeping a constant sort of 15.9 volts. It's usually around that 13, you know, so it shows that the alternator's not moving around too much, and it's actually keeping a constant charge. Okay, it's probably was a little bit overcharged, but might be a little bit less, might be sort of 13-14 area. That's one way to test that the alternator's working. Okay, let's try the fancy little device. I've got this device from Lidl, which is really cool. There we go. It's yeah, overloaded faulty regulator. I think this thing might be overcharged, but we'll keep an eye on this just to make sure that everything's okay. But it seems reasonably okay. I think it might settle down in time. I will have to keep checking the battery for a while. I might even just have a faulty battery, who knows. But yeah, the other thing I might need to do is a parasitic draw test. Might be something wrong with the charger, but anyway, all's good. Okay, so put the cover on. That needs a bit of fixing. Anyway, cover's on. Right, and that's how you replace the battery on a right-hand drive Mini Cooper R56, I think it is. Okay, so you might be in a situation, it might have come out of lockdown and you might have had to get your car started. I would recommend doing other things like checking the coolant, the washer, the oil, the tyres, those sort of basic checks that you need to do. Yeah, so all that's left for me to do is just take it for a quick drive. Well, just one final thing, guys. I just had to reset the clock and reset the date, and I realised that, you know, it's one thing I forgot to say in this video is Happy New Year, and let's just hope it's a better year this year with this coronavirus. Hopefully the vaccine will come out and we can all get our lives back to normal and enjoy everything. So look forward to New Year, and yeah, cool. Thanks, guys.